and welcome to A Cup of Poetry. I'm Langan Kingsley. Today I bring you a conversation with Carrie Fountain, author of Burn Lake, which was the National Poetry Series winner as selected by Natasha Trethewey. Of the collection, Trethewey wrote, "With grace and keen attention to the implications of history, the poems in Burn Lake grapple with what it means to be tied to a place, knowing that our own losses are not only what is taken from us, but also what we take from others." Burn Lake is Carrie Fountain's first collection. She teaches at St. Edward's University and lives in Austin, Texas. She joined me over Skype to discuss everything from conquistadores to adolescence, and of course, her book. Enjoy.
I come from a small town very nearby Las Cruces, New Mexico, in southern New Mexico. My family has been there sort of forever. And Burn Lake was a real hot spot in the 70s and 80s in my hometown. There is a river. There are not many bodies of water in southern New Mexico. So Burn Lake was where you go in the summer. I don't think we ever realized strange kind of irony of it, but, it was this lake. It sort of was hanging off of the Interstate 10. You'd be swimming and there'd be traffic driving, immediately above you. It was very close by the sewage treatment plant. But we just loved it. We thought it was this oasis. And the story of Burn Lake, they were building the I-10, and the construction company at some point digging and cut into the water table and up came all this water. So rather than, they couldn't do anything about it, so they made it into a lake, and that's the birth of Burn Lake. And it is such an ironic name. I don't think that I understood the irony of it until I was an adult and sort of could see it from a different perspective, Like, who wants to go swimming in Burn Lake? This collection, and maybe it's because it is my first, and so this is the only thing I know how to do at this point. I've been writing many of these poems over the last, even say, 10 years. And as I've been writing poems, I wasn't necessarily looking at them as a collection, but the closer I got to having something that looked like a collection, I think the more shape the book took. And then I was able to incorporate or put a structure into the unwieldy collection of poems I had written over the last many years. And so that sort of turned into this book. I write a lot about place. I write a lot about the area in southern New Mexico where I grew up and where my family's from. And so I think a lot of my poems were similar in that, and that they sort of were speaking about the same thing. They came together a bit organically, I would think, but then I was able to find connections and kind of install a structure at the end. I think a lot of other poets that I admire greatly start with the structure, sort of start with an idea and are able to generate material from that. I have never been able to do that, and I sort of fly blind.